What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Yes, Mr. Z is starting a few minutes early today. Oh man, it happens. It happens. It happens. Oh man, hopefully you guys can hear me well. Let me get a one in the chat if you guys can. Um, we're gonna be talking a little random today. That's why there's no links in the description box yet. Shout out to the replay gang. Once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. What we're gonna start off with what Mr. Z was saying yesterday on Dr. T's channel and on BGS's channel. And I think I messed up. So I already messed up, right? Because I just wanted to start streaming and I didn't. Well, we'll read excuse me. We'll read the definition of negative liberty in a minute. And we're gonna go into what Mr. Z was saying yesterday on BGS's channel, third channel. I'll put the link in the description box after the stream. And on Dr. T's channel, shout out to Dr. T Hassan Johnson. I'll put the link for that also after the stream, right? Once again, shout out to the replay gang. And we'll start off with former First Lady, excuse me, former First Lady Michelle Obama. So for those of you that don't know, former First Lady Michelle Obama did not attend Jimmy Carter's funeral a couple weeks ago, and she did not attend Donald Trump's inauguration just about a week ago. And the reason why this matters, and I had a conversation with a coworker, black coworker, man, and we kind of got into a back and forth, and he's some Michelle not showing up. He thinks that Barack was in on it and he approves. So I'm not saying my coworker approves. He does approve, by the way, but he also says that he thinks Barack Obama approved. And he says, how else are we supposed to kind of give the system the middle finger and F this system, et cetera, et cetera? And I was floored. And I was like, well, she should have never signed up in the first place. You know, is Donald Trump detestable? Absolutely. But you signed up for this. Didn't y'all think George W. Bush was detestable? But your husband still ran for president, right? Your husband still ran for president. Like, these people mocked you and your husband. They called you a man. They insulted you and your husband over and over again. And that's what you signed up for when you signed up to run for president. When your husband signed to run up for president. Like, Michelle Obama understands this. Former First Lady Michelle Obama understands what America she's in. She gets it, right? And she's made gestures and said certain things throughout the years that let us know she understands. She gets it, but how much is the question? And is America just America because Kamala didn't win? Or is there a side of America that you thought had progressed that you're finding out and you're realizing didn't progress the way you thought, the way you've hoped, right? So going back, me and my coworker went back and forth about this, and there was some insinuation that Mr. Z is for the system. There was some advocate for that though. What I am saying is black president of these United States. You are the highest ranking black woman on planet Earth. Period. Right? You don't get to forego your responsibilities and duties and be a sore loser. Number one. Number two, this speaks to, and I was saying this on Dr. T's channel, an idea of family that black women's face has become anathema to. An idea of the nuclear Christian family, Protestant work ethic, et cetera, structure, white male patriarchy, that black women's face has become the complete opposite of. Now, are black women really opposed to it all the way? No, they want all the pluses, just like other women, um, including other feminists. They want all the pluses of patriarchy with none of what they see as the drawback of patriarchy. Once again, pick and choose patriarchy, pick and choose feminism, patriarchy by feminist specifications, as Mr. Z says often here, right? We have to be honest about what this is and what this is going to potentially mean for black women, along with a litany of other what word would Mr. Z use for that? A litany of other slights, maybe, that non-black men, namely white men, clearly see, feel, and think concerning black women, right? Oh, wait, I was silent for 15 seconds. Oh, man. Hopefully you guys can hear me now, right? Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Okay, and we're back. We're back, hopefully, right? And I want to stress this. This is a long line of black women showing their rear end. There are kind of givens in America. The given is when you're young and dumb and full of anyway, right? You you're out there. By your mid 20s, you should be settling down. By 30, you should be settled down, right? You should stay married, but if you get divorced somewhere in your late 30s, maybe your mid 40s. Then you get married again, you remarry, and then you stay married until your last days. This is the assumption in America. You have your children in wedlock, right? You raise your children, you are all about the money, you encourage your husband as a woman, right? These are like the way white Americans, at least, see it's supposed to be, right? And black women take that and wipe their rear ends with it. I'm tying this to black men. I'm going to get to black men in a minute. What happens when you have a group of people that are so publicly saying F your institutions, but they don't have the power to actually enforce how they feel? Any power they feel that they have has either been given to them or it's not actually power. It's just the fact that people have benign, like, hasn't really been going in on them because they think that there is a more important group of people to keep their thumb on. Black men. So black women put themselves in a very precarious position with clapping it up for the sisterhood all the time, with encouraging the sisterhood and its foolishness all the time, without distinguishing between class, right? Without distinguishing between respectable and not respectable. Once again, this is not using respectability politics to brown nose white society. I'm speaking about intra-racial, intra-community dynamics, not inter-racial and inter-communal dynamics, right? As I said, black women have put themselves in a very unenviable position. White men are attempting to reassert themselves, and they have their non-white lackeys in tow. And this is not the time, as I was saying to Dr. Tison Johnson, for black women to be showing the world their rear end because they don't have the power to do it, period. Before we get into the moral question, black women don't have the power. That black girl magic is built off of white, mainly leftist money, white liberal money, mainly white feminist money. That's what it's built off of. Huh? The idea that there is some special sauce that black women have. Now we're getting into standpoint theory, everyone. That there's some special sauce that black women have that give them a certain perspective that no one else can have because they're not black plus woman, and black women are automatically on the right side of history, automatically more moral, more just, more humane than everyone else. It's something that black women have used as a cloak and a defense mechanism for people critiquing certain black women's behavior that's bad black women's behavior, right? And we're just not in the place anymore where people will even entertain that. We're not in that place anymore. Huh? And thank you, Trill. Intro within and across, inter between, exactly. Huh? We're just not in that place. For the highest ranking woman on the face of the earth, highest ranking black woman, excuse me, to pull this after a contentious election, after we understand that the Viveks of the world, yes, we know he's not part of Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, after they have shown you that to them, you are an anathema to what they stand for. You are the prime example of what they're fighting against. This liberal overreach, culture warring for no reason, a person just being um opposing just to be opposing, right? A miserable person. Are all black women this? No. Are there other women that are like this? Yes. But other women don't have the negative stereotype put on their shoulders. How is this going to affect black men? There were a number of black men who, because they refuse to call black women out and hold black women to task, they're going to sink with the ship with those black women. Some of our uncles, some of our grandfathers, some of our fathers, some of our guy cousins, some of our friends who understand what the gynocracy is, they may not call it that. And they're going to sink with the ship. They are going to sink with the ship. They don't have the income, they don't have the wealth, they don't have the resources, they don't have the connections to defend bad black women's behavior. They don't. But they're going to try. I don't want to sound hyperbolic, but we all saw what Elon did on that stage, didn't we? Is Mr. Z doing too much by reminding everyone that that is a South African man, Afrikaner, who has the ears of Trump, who spent $250 million on Trump's election, who is the richest man on the planet at 400 and some odd $1 billion? Huh? And you think that man, you think Vivek, once again, we understand officially he's not part of Doge anymore. You think the Trumps of the world, you think they don't see black women as a problem or the problem, even though Vivek kind of has already said explicitly he does. Anyway, Do you understand what this is going to mean for black people writ large, black women specifically? Rumors swirling around about the right wanting to privatize the postal service, which, by the way, once again, like I said, that's a long shot, and that's been something that's been ruminating, for what, 30 years plus. But once again, this lets you know they understand that black people are in the public sector heavily, especially the postal service. Do we not appreciate what this is? There are a lot of black women who claim to be the most educated. They're snarky, they mean, they're rude, they're entitled, they're bratty. We're not talking about 20 some odd year olds. We're talking about 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 some odd year olds. Snarky, sassy, bratty assholes. No other way to put it. Straight up assholes. And they are allowed to behave like that because what they were is what many white women wish they were. They've been empowered by those white women so that white women could vicariously live through bratty, snarky, asshole, do what I want to do, negative liberty to death, black women. Huh? Uh oh. Huh? Uh oh. So let's actually read that definition of negative liberty because Mr. Z uses it so goddamn much. Negative liberty is the freedom from external interference, obstacles, or constraint. Negative liberty is the freedom from external interference, obstacles, and constraints. Oh boy. Now, Mr. Z says this often, but to sum that up, y'all know Mr. Z gonna play it. Of course, Mr. Z gonna play it. To sum that up in the fewest words possible, in a term that we've heard often.
Who gonna check me, boo?
If you want to know why Mr. Z plays this clip so often, let's read that definition of negative liberty one more again. Negative liberty is the freedom from external interference, obstacles, or constraints.
Who gonna check me, boo?
To sum it up in the fewest words possible. You can talk like that when you are being funded at the tunes of millions and tens of millions and potentially hundreds of millions and billions of dollars. You can talk like that when white feminists are flicking crumbs off the table to keep you engaged in their BS. You can talk like that. But what happens when white men outmaneuver those white women? What happens when those white women in majority have to go back home? Huh? What happens then? What happens when black girl magic is put to the test? What happens then? Huh? What happens then?
So we don't have the capacity.
Huh? What happens when black girl magic is put to the test? Michelle Obama only proved to a portion of America that what they thought black women were and what black women represent is what black women are and what black women represent. It really is. They are who we thought they were. These people really, in their minds, have confirmation that what black women represent politically and socially is exactly what these folks thought black women did.
He's right,
Huh? Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris, the Simone Sanders of the world, the former press secretary under Biden, all of these people in these people's minds represent the snarky, sassy, mean-spirited black women. Huh? And it's time to pay up.
You gonna pay what you owe, nigga?
Huh? Black men have decisions to make about where we go individually and as a group from this moment forward. When black women have shown that they don't care about the institutions, I understand as a black person, as a black man born and raised in America, that the institutions haven't necessarily been kind to black people. As a matter of fact, they've been very predatory and pernicious towards black people, namely black men. Huh? I can understand, and I sometimes agree with F all that. I get it. But when you sign up to be first lady to the first black president, guess what you don't get to do? Huh? Guess what you don't get to do?
Who gonna check me, boo?
Yeah, you don't get to do that. You just don't. Huh? You don't get to walk around here like this. You just don't. Yeah, it's not fair. You're 100% right. It is not fair. And you signed up for it anyway. Huh? We're not in the place where black women can just shame everyone else and tell everyone else we don't understand their life. What did Will Smith's dad say to him on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? It just happened. You can't judge me type thing. We're not in that place anymore. That take it from a black woman thing, we're not there anymore. And maybe what's happening is the world is shifting so quickly that some of us don't really appreciate how quickly it's shifting. Maybe even some of our heads of state, maybe our highly educated class, really don't appreciate how quickly the landscape is changing under their feet. And I'm careful to say that because I don't want to insult these people's intelligence. They're far more educated than me, and to be frank with you, they have far more access to knowledge and information than I do. So if Mr. Z sees it, do these people not see it, or do they not care? Mr. Z's doing the math. Huh? Mr. Z is doing the math.
2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1, that's 3, quick maths.
Are these people not? I think they are. What they're going to do about it is a whole different conversation. Huh? And I failed to mention, and I was beating myself up afterward because I listened to the replay. I failed to mention, and I should have mentioned it because somebody brought up Jasmine Crockett earlier in the stream, in Dr. T. Hassan's stream, and I forgot to mention Jasmine Crockett gets it. That's why she was goddamn begging on the congressional floor a few weeks ago. She understands what the ripping apart of DEI and the gutting of affirmative action means for black women and girls in particular, with not having the set asides. See, Jasmine Crockett as a politician, I'll pipe. Jasmine Crockett as a politician understands that black girl magic is not actually magic. All the rest of these black women can move about like, oh, black girl magic, and that. We just make things happen. We just wish it into existence. Huh? We just will it into existence. We just conjure it up. Jasmine Crockett understands better than that. And that's why it was, to be honest with you, it actually was kind of cringe watching her go back and forth with the white congressman. I forgot his name. But she understood. And that's what black women, low key, high key, begging white men looks like, everyone. Huh?
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Yes, they still try to play stoic. They still try to keep a straight face and a stiff upper lip, but they're begging because they understand, the Jasmine Crockett's of the world, that is, that their entire existence, and Jasmine Crockett was essentially saying that actually is built off of America not being what America has been pre, well, let's say 1970. Huh? Pre about 1970, maybe 75 if you want to be a little generous. Jasmine Crockett understands that America before 1970, 1975, and America post 1970, 1975 is a whole different type of America politically concerning black people, including black women. And there's a lot of people, black women, who gonna be slow to the uptake, but they're gonna get a rude awakening. Huh? They're going to get a rude awakening. Exactly. I was thinking that too. I didn't say it, but and Shrell says, like the British say, with a stiff upper lip, right? That fake stoicism. Huh? It's gonna look ugly. You can tie all of this together. The repeal of affirmative action, Michelle Obama showing her rear end. You can tie all of it together. Tie all of it together. The loss of Kamala Harris. Huh? The twerking of Meg Thee Stallion. You could tie all of that together. All of this within the past, 6 months? We don't even have to go out a year. We don't have to go out 5 years. We could focus on the past 6, 7 months. Huh? And that'll tell you everything you need to know about the dynamics between black men, black women, white society, both left and right politically. Huh? This talk of the matriarchy, for those uninitiated, and black girl magic, and the power and the strength and the wherewithal of black women, we're about to see. We're about to see. And any ideas or notions or people were a bit suspicious and skeptical, it looked like black women are the representation of everything that we're trying to go against. The overreach of feminism, the excesses of a cultural liberalism that we realize doesn't work for us, right? Black women wanted to be the mascot of that, and they're about to feel what that looked like. As I said to y'all, my lady keeps on saying this, it sucks to be in the find out part of F around and find out. And black women don't appreciate they are the face of find out right now. All the women were effing around. Black women are going to have to hold pretty much by themselves. Some Latinas are going to be in there, a few white women, maybe an Asian woman here or there, South and East Asian. But black women, for the most part, as women, are going to have to hold find that part almost by themselves because they were the mascot, because they wanted to be the face of a certain cultural liberalism that says, I do what I want to do. Huh? I do what I want to do. No one can tell me anything.
I am out of control. Yeah, I use drugs. I can do what I want, bitch. Yeah, I have sex and I don't use protection. It's my hot body. I'll do what I want.
Huh? Oh, man. And that's going to come at a cost. Black women being the mascot in the face for I do what I want, negative liberty to the nth degree. Huh? And the former first lady, and I just listened to BGS's think piece about this. Watching Barack walk by himself, you know, I think it was Scott Ritter I was watching forever ago. I'm glad BGS brought Scott Ritter into the Black Manosphere because I've been watching Scott Ritter since on and off since '08, '07, '08, maybe '09, when he was on stage with I want to say General Wesley Clark, and General Wesley Clark was talking about the 7 countries in 7 years or whatever the hell that the U.S. had plans on overthrowing, and it pretty much overthrew every one of them except for Iran, I think. Yeah, that part. It was going to be Syria, but we already know Syria just fell, so yeah. So it would have been more than one, but now it just looks like it's one regime that they haven't overthrown yet. Okay. And why did I bring up Scott Ritter? I brought up Scott Ritter. Mr. Z, that's what you get for rambling, Z. I was on a train of thought and I brought up Scott Ritter for some reason. Why did I bring up Scott Ritter? What was I saying? Anyway, okay, it's gone now. It's gone. It's gone. I'll get it back. I'll get it back eventually. There's a cost to this. I think this is what Mr. Z is saying. And I think black women took it for granted that this would be forever. I said this before, like they really think they're on the right side of history, that we're always going to be upwardly mobile. There's always going to be quote unquote progression, social and political progression, and maybe not, right? Maybe not, right? Oh yeah, I was saying Obama walking by himself. Exactly. Yeah, thank you, Split Jim. Thank you for keeping me on track, right? Obama walking by himself, especially considering the other presidents walking with their wife who can't stand Trump either. Vice presidents, I mean, literally, Trump essentially sent them boys to go handle Mike Pence, his own vice president. But Pence was there with his wife. Huh? Y'all see where Z going with this? Right? Bush Jr., Biden. We already know Jill Biden can't stand Trump. They were all there. And Michelle wasn't. Huh? To watch Obama walk by himself, it was an example of everything we say here. This man's party just got a shellacking. And he got to walk by himself because his wife refused to have his back publicly in this moment because whatever she got going on. His party just got a shellacking, a backhand. The House, the Senate, Supreme Court, President, blood red. Huh? Els Active says Hillary was laughing at Trump's remarks about the Gulf of America. Look, the lady that said we came, we saw, he died, and chuckled at her own joke. Talking about Gaddafi, everyone. I would expect that lady. Like, ain't nobody more pantsuit than her, arguably, outside of Margaret Thatcher. Nobody is more pantsuit than Hillary Clinton outside of Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher might be a little bit more, but she didn't wear pantsuits. So there you go. Either way, Margaret Thatcher, even though she wear pantsuits like that, might be the only person, arguably, that's more pantsuit than Hillary Clinton. So for Miss Clinton to chuckle at the Gulf of America comment by Trump, I could see that. I could see it. Huh? Hillary is definitely shrewd enough to find that funny. Huh? Huh? And thank you for that comment, Els Active. I brought up Scott Ritter for a reason. I'm trying to remember because I was that's what I get for rambling. I should have never went into detail about BGS bringing Scott Ritter up in the Black Manosphere. But yeah, give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna pause for a second. Let me see if I can remember. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. I tried, y'all. I can't remember. And I promise you it's gonna be fire. I promise you it's gonna be fire, and I can't remember. That's what I get. Another one of these BGS was right moments. That's what I get for rambling. I should have just stuck to it. That's what I get. I over here be chastising Nemo about getting off the expressway and going local. Mr. Z did it, and I got lost. I try, y'all. I try remembering. Hopefully, I remember as I continue. Regardless, if I remember, I will pause what I was saying and remember this and say it. But yeah, I tried. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. It's gone. It's way too gone now. That thought is out of there. There's a pun in there. There's a pun in there, right? But no, I think when Michelle represents, what Kamala represented, especially that's why I brought up Meg Thee Stallion twerking. I think what they represent is the overreach of Black women's particular politics, of an overreach of a liberalism, a negative liberty that goes against structure in some type of basis and foundation for family. And I said this before, right? You can't want community as a in case of emergency break glass. You have to build community. You have to be part of it. You have to be engaged. You have to pay it forward. And then, if and when you are in need You could call on community. You don't get to give everyone your ass to kiss. Only play the game you want to play in community. And when you're in need, you call on community and you're always in need. That's not how this works. And there's a bunch of leftists you would think understand this, but they don't. They charge everyone else with helping to build and maintain community without them doing their part. Part of doing your part is getting married. Oops. Part of doing your part is having children, preferably born in wedlock, and staying married. You don't get to freestyle, do whatever you want to do, engage in whatever behavior you want to engage in, and then say community should come to your aid when you crash, right? Huh? Thank you, Vince. That's not how it works. You don't get to engage in community that way. I'm tying that to Michelle. I'm tying that to Kamala. You don't get to engage in community that way. The white men are going to overreach. The right is going to overreach. They're going to go, and I'm saying this to my conservative brethren in the black manosphere. The white right is going to overreach. They're going to go way too far with it. They're going to overcorrect. You better believe it, and it's not going to take long. With that, what black women have to appreciate, and I didn't say this last night, and this is something I should have said, but I've said this before. Most folks in America and in the West, I would argue, would much rather sign up for organized WS than what they deem as chaotic, undisciplined, unstructured liberalism that black women represent. Let me say that again. I would argue that most people in the West are willing to give up a couple of freedoms for a structured system, even if it's ran by some of the worst characters on the planet, the worst actors on the planet. They will sign up for WS that's organized than a disorganized mess that they see is what black women represent. No? Uh-oh. And there were a number of black women that fully don't understand that. Kamala represented that with her politics going from left to a little bit more left to way more right to center. We understand when people make it into general election, they start switching up, right? They go further left. If they're a Democrat, they go further right to pull in their base. And then when it for the primary, and then when it's general election, they move to the center. We get that. We understand that. With that, not appreciating that you're held to, okay, fine, a stiffer standard, no pun, as a black woman. And it's going to be hypocritical. Not appreciating that. Your campaign not appreciating that. And you start off with Meg the Stallion twerking. It's not smart. And that's where we are now. What does the white men think of black women? White conservative men who are in power across the board, because it wasn't just the House, the Senate, and the presidency across the board. They were winning seats left, right, and center, all all through the 50 states. Uh-oh. Let me tie that to, and somebody, because I don't fully appreciate or know what's going on with the ace metaphor thing. I know certain people, and I know Ed wanted me to maybe cover it and said I have a lot of work to do. So somebody kind of inform me about that, or send me the links and we'll get to it. Um, yeah, I think these folks don't appreciate that you don't live in the same world. Black women don't appreciate that. They don't even appreciate how much of their world was built off of white women's access money. I've been saying this for a few months, right? America's drying up the money. There's a lot of people that were floating on a cloud of extra money that America just doesn't have anymore or is drying up. Huh? Revelot said, oh, stealing money and clapping cheeks. Okay, well, okay. Vincent, it's an NDA in the mist, so we won't know entirely until later. Okay, stealing money and clapping cheeks. Okay, all right. Well, so doing what people do in those positions. Okay, all right. Pun intended. All right, right. Revlon said stealing money and clapping cheeks. Quick, fast, and to the point. Okay, well, I'll see when we get a little bit more details. I'll see if it's worth covering because that sounds pretty basic to Z. Right. That sounds like office politics to Z. That's what it sounds like. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying it's standard. Well, damn. Right. And let's pause for a second. And Ishmael says, "Peace to Z and the chat. Hashtag replay game." Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe to the super chat. Right. And Ishmael, you get one of, what are we gonna give you? We're gonna give you a Camaro burning out, right? Or we're gonna give you a Ferrari shooting flames. We'll give you the Ferrari and for being the first super chat, we'll give you the Ferrari and the Camaro, right? So that sounds standard to me, yo. We'll see as the details, you know, as the details what unfold. We'll see what that looks like. And let's read this from KMS also. And once again, thank you for the super chat, Ishmael. Thank you for the super chat. And KMS says, Michelle Obama proved my point, and it's a textbook example of law 2 and 3 of the 5 laws of stupidity. Shakes hands to the heavens. Vindication. I can see it. Vindication. Look, yeah, you know, it not being about her status or her education. Yes. I think that's the one you're referring to, KMS. I think if I remember correctly from the laws that you read. All right. And I think black women are going to crash out. This is Michelle's version of crashing out. But other black women are going to show their rear end too. Because they really thought they were included. You were never included. You were never going to be included. Right? Okay. Oh, let me read them then. Okay, and KMS says, and I'm sorry about that. Let's read that. KMS says, Law 2, the probability that a person is stupid is independent of other characteristics of that person. So I was right about that. And Law 3, a stupid person is a person who causes losses to another person or group of people when he or she does not benefit and may even suffer losses. Yeah. True. Maybe Michelle benefits from a certain type of black woman, their understanding of her as a black woman. But for the most part, outside of that very small niche of black women, she loses amongst other black women, particularly the class that she, I guess, is in now. She loses amongst non-black women. She loses amongst men across the board. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yes. Yeah, I agree with this. I agree 100% with this. Right. And Compassion says, a little fraud, a little emotional dope dealing, typical gotta cry activity. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Right. And I'm talking about the ace metaphor thing. If what y'all are saying is correct. Yeah. Right. Kamala's campaign. This coming from Michelle Obama, former First Lady Michelle Obama, watching Barack have to walk that red carpet by himself. Right. Watching the First Lady, well, essentially give the world her rear end to kiss. All of this happening back to back to back. And as Dr. T was covering the other night, watching a emphasis, and I want to be very clear, they're targeting black women right now. I just want everybody to understand, like, what we're seeing is what we're seeing. They're showing black women to be incompetent, corrupt, loose with the money, loose with the vagina, oops, undisciplined, unserious, or not serious, better yet. I don't want to make up words right now. Um, this is on purpose. Why emphasize black women doing what we know everybody else is doing? To show black women are incapable, and the only reason they're there is because of some DEI, even before DEI was a term, DEI or affirmative action clause. It's on purpose. They're purposely targeting black women's image. You said you wanted to be out there, huh? You said you wanted to be out there. The sovereign women of the world told us to leave black women alone. Excuse me, alone. That's what she said. Leave black women alone. Okay, huh? Okay, we'll leave black women alone.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Huh? And you're gonna have to eat what that mean. What the Fannie Willis case just completely embarrassed her. Even if she didn't feel personally embarrassed, it was about embarrassing her and black women writ large. And I seen the case that and I heard, I think it was a white judge or whatever going at Fannie Willis's office for their case against Young Thug and them, and saying how disorganized they were and how essentially petty and childish and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it's a new day. White women's gloves are off. They got the green light from white men, namely white conservative men, to go at y'all full force. So your white sisterhood that you thought the white women you thought you were allied with, we about to see. White women's gloves are off, so you better believe all that Cardi B calling darker skinned black women cockroaches, that's definitely going to increase. Latinas going to be coming at your neck. Why they come after black men? Oops. Why they trying to snatch up black men? They're going to be coming at black women. The white women going to start getting at y'all. The Asian women were never with y'all in the first place, so that's not even a thing. All the pretenders, the wannabe white men, them Latino men, those South and East Asian men, we about to see black women. Huh? You said leave black women alone, right, Sovereign? All right. Huh? Okay. We're about to see how real black girl magic is. Saint Cyr said, black women during the election, white women, you have our backs, right? Head ass. Head ass is hysterical, right? Compassion says they turning the myth of the black superwoman into Thanos right before our eyes. Hey, that's black women's fault. Black women really thought that they were in the game. Not all black women. I've definitely spoken to some black women that understood that they were never going to be included. I've been around. I've been around them. I didn't say they still not matriarchs or gynocrats. I didn't say that. But I did say that they understood that all of this was a game in the first place, right? But right now, white men's attitude towards watching black women fall, well,
I am inevitable.
huh? White men's attitude towards watching black women fall. And that's, well, black women's fault. Y'all put yourselves in this position.
I am inevitable.
Well, not because you wanted to achieve the American dream, the way you went about attempting to achieve the American dream while using black men in degrading black men's image as a springboard. Signing the Faustian bargain with white women who you thought were going to throw white men under the bus and they didn't. Shout out to Real Talk with Yanni. Shout out to Polly Murray. Polly Murray told you that's what she did. And Real Talk with Yanni told you that's what they did. And Real Talk with Yanni is a college dropout, but she understood. What did Real Talk with Yanni say when she was covering Dr. Umar Johnson? Yeah, we did it because what were black men offering? Okay, yep, and there you go. Real Talk with Yanni, you're going to be okay financially. Huh? You're going to be okay financially. And the rest of your homegirls?
That's not fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
Crying their ass off. Huh? So Real Talk with Yanni, this is you. I will do this because I can. Huh? Your homegirls, on the other hand, other black women, like everybody that's not part of that, what, top 5-ish, 10-ish% of black women? The rest of them?
Fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
Huh? Uh-oh. Well, hey, say that. And Indigo says, that picture with Gloria Steinem and Dorothy Pittman Hughes with their fist in the air looks even sadder now. Uh-oh. Black women, just know you signed up for this. Huh? Something else. And what else was that I wanted to bring up? Something else that I wanted to bring up. Oh, yeah, Sagar. Ha, 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 ha. Y'all already know. Don't worry, we ain't stopped with the black women yet. But Sagar and Jetty. Sagar and Jetty is showing his rear end more and more and more. For those of us that watch Breaking Points, and you watch Sagar and Jetty try to defend Elon Musk and what he did on that stage with the Hail Hitler salute, you saw what you thought you saw. Y'all could call it edgelord behavior also. Okay, fine. Elon's not a raving lunatic Nazi. That's debatable. Okay, fine. All right, for argument's sake, fine. He just was doing edgelord stuff by doing something racist. So the Afrikaner at 40 something years old, or is he 50 something? 40 something. His 12-year-old edgelord antics is to do the Hell Hitler salute on a public stage with the cameras rolling and watching this South Asian defend it, watching this South Asian say, this is so stupid, I hate having these debates. Yeah, you saw what you thought you saw. You saw, thank you, Neymar, and he did it twice. He's an impulsive jackass at least, and he did it twice. Thank you. Huh? For Sagar and for these other folks, you're not what you are until you claim it. Okay, yeah, that's it. So Elon has to come out and say, look, I'm purposely doing this. I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to get a rise out of people. I am this. Yeah. And look, man, just call yourself the cowards that y'all are. If a person, and this is the thing, we saw this with Dylan Roof, right? We saw that with that kiss-ass black pastor on Fox News that morning. Everybody want to make this about race. Well, I wish that we could be in an America that's not about race. I don't see this as racial. And then we read the manifesto. Uh-oh. Just call yourselves the cowards that y'all are. That somebody got to be so on the nose. They got to be like comically, cartoonishly in your face, where you don't have no chance to weasel out of exactly what it is. Call it what it is. They have to be so explicit, so overt, to give you no choice or chance but to say, okay, all right, okay, fine. Huh? It is what y'all say. Okay, fine. Huh?
He's right, you know.
And St. says, my buddy Chris has the same type of autism as Elon. Dude is an engineer and a wizard. My brother is smart. He has never once did Nazi salute. Exactly. Interesting way of spelling. I know why you spelled it like that, but yeah, good one. Right? Good one. How to spell it exactly? Get around the algorithm. I see you, Saint Cyr. Right? Trell said bootlickery, but man, bootlickery like a mug. And this is why these people should not be trusted. They should not be trusted. At least not to Z. Y'all can ally with them if y'all want, not Z. And Sagar says these things so matter of fact. And then and I gotta, my algorithm is full of ishlibs. I gotta deal with their crap. Neo-Nazis, and so you're comparing literal people doing the Hell Hitler salute to liberals who annoy you who are on your timeline. Yeah. This is the same as, and y'all see this with certain white folks when they act like you calling them a white boy or them feeling uncomfortable in a black space is the same as like in your face Dylan Roof deleting black people. Like literal hate crimes against black people being the same as a random black person maybe robbing a white person. It's the same. A poverty crime and a hate crime, what's the difference? Crime is crime. targeting someone because you poor and you try to steal something off of them to sell it is the same as targeting someone because they're black, beginning, end, and you see them as less human, if even human. You let the Saugers of the world talk, huh? And that's where you end up. Right? So the reason why I'm speaking about Sauger, and once again I'll put the link in the description for what I'm covering or what I'm speaking about. Um, Watching this South Asian guy just use excuses, come up with excuses to once again excuse Elon Musk's behavior. It's just fascinating watching a South Asian defending this white guy because God forbid that the black folks are right about white society and this type of very public display of WS behavior. Look, don't be so anti-woke that you sleep. I'm saying this to my I'm using this to have a conversation with my conservative and centrist brethren in the black manosphere. Don't be so anti-woke that you sleep, right? Don't be so offended and annoyed by black women in particular, but even some white women, some white feminists taking the woke, stance and bastardizing it. Don't be so headstrong against that your response now is no matter what happens, you're never going to call it what it is because the last thing you want to seem like is a snowflake. It's soft. That's what I said the other day. I know what I was saying the other day. You're a real man, right, black men? You're a real man. Well, real men don't complain. Real men aren't victims even when they're victims. Huh? Real men don't let anything happen to them. And if they happen to them, it's because they're weak. Okay, yeah. Yawn. Huh? Y'all saw what Elon did, and I'm going to be very clear with you. He's not going to stop. This is why, and I'm going to put this question like I always do. What does Mr. Z say in these situations? Where's the line? On the left, where's the line? On the right, where's the line? For everyone who has claimed a political side, even if you're centrist, where's the line where you say, all right, I can't rock with y'all with this. I can't ride out with y'all with this. This is my line. I'm not crossing this line. I'm not going no further than this. And if your line is literally somebody shaving their mustache narrow, goose stepping down the street with a goddamn swastika flag, then you're a coward. Because what you're saying is, I needed to be absolutely like retardedly undeniable. There is no, okay, you know what? I see that. I could see why people are saying this. No. I needed to be stupidly, cartoonishly undeniable. Just admit you're a coward. Or just admit that your political ideology is so important and matters to you so much that you're never going to concede to the other side, even when they are 100% correct on this one thing. Because the last thing you can do is admit that these folks are right, that when you let these people start off this way, they're going to end up this way. They're going to go further and further. That's why I continue. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a stream about Steve King. That's what I have to do. So we could walk through the different iterations where he just became more and more brazen with the BS to the point where they had to run him out of Congress. Huh? So just like I said to Marshall, where's the line when it comes to Sauger? I want y'all to understand, Saga not gonna have no line, man. Coward ass South Asian, he not gonna have no line. And when it becomes clear, because Elon's gonna keep on going, I just want to be very clear. And actually, y'all gives you a second, y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back, right? Elon's going to keep on going. Elon is going to keep on going. Wealthiest man on the planet, 400 some odd $billion. He really is the epitome of who gonna check me, boo. That's really him.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Huh? He's gonna keep on going. And I'm gonna ask all the conservative brethren in the black manosphere, you gonna ride out with that? Because we know the Sagas of the world, they're gonna ride out with it until it becomes cartoonish. And if it never becomes cartoonishly obvious, see what? I didn't see that. I think y'all are snowflakes. Y'all are doing too much. Y'all are too sensitive. Huh? You ishlibs, you snowflakes, y'all are too sensitive. All right. It's not just words and rhetoric, everyone. It also speaks to policy. It also speaks to how these people are going to advocate against you behind your back. If you don't believe me, Southern Strategy, Lee Atwater, everyone. Nixon, Tricky Dick, what's his nickname, on Sell Them on Capitalism. He didn't mean that for the benefit of black people. He meant use their aspirationalism against them. Use them wanting to be part of the American project against them. Use them wanting to be self-sufficient as a group against them. Huh? So when Mr. Z brings these things up, it's not just to say, okay, this person's just talking crazy or they're just using a racist gesture beginning in. No, that speaks to something. You should be afraid and weary, maybe more weary, maybe not afraid. You should definitely at least be weary of the wealthiest man, reportedly at least, the wealthiest man on the planet who donated $250 million to the most powerful man on the planet, to his campaign. You should be weary of him being part of a non-governmental organization called the Department of Government Efficiency. You should be weary of that guy doing the hell Hitler. Yeah, you should be. You know, the guy who was born rich anyway in South Africa, you know, during apartheid. You know, there's pictures of him and his brother standing next to his dad's Rolls Royce in South Africa during the heart of apartheid. During the prime of apartheid in South Africa. That guy is in America now running Department of Government Efficiency. And that guy doing the hell Hitler means nothing? All right, okay. Huh? Huh? I'm sorry, y'all probably couldn't hear me a minute ago. But yeah, family made wealthy by diamond mining. Thank you, Naima. Thank you. Exactly. But that doesn't matter. All right. I'm sorry about that, y'all. Just want to make sure y'all can hear me because I know I might be going in and out a little bit. Huh? So there's that's why I'm covering Sagar. Look. There's a reason, and this is why y'all see I really didn't have a problem with ADOS's justice claim, because I can appreciate how these kind of like these people, and even Ann Coulter realizes it, they were shoehorned in here to deny Black Americans, ADOS, FBA, their justice claim. The Sogers of the world, the Viveks of the world, they're just in the way. They're in the way. These little white ass kissing losers are in the way. There's something to be said about Black women's behavior, true. But let's be very clear. These people, they don't really care about Black women's behavior like that. They just want to move Black women out the way so they can kiss white ass better. So they can get in a better position. Pun intended. Huh? I'll say it. I don't care. I'll go personal. I don't think it's a coincidence that Saga got a white wife or loser ass. Huh? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. These people are bad actors. And for them, that's why I said it. It wasn't just the left engaging in the culture war. The right loves the culture war too. The right loves the culture war also. The politicians on the right, the pundits on the right, they love the culture war, but they don't gotta talk about the uber wealthy folks on the right that's stealing all the goddamn money, running out the back door with the money. And you just watched that conversation just now between the MAGA true believers and the corporatists on the right. The Elons and Vivek versus the MAGAs. You just watched that conversation just happen. And who won out? The corporatists. Ooh, goddamn. Shout out to all you true believers. You just got your ass handed to you. Huh? And Nemesis, who is the goof you're talking about, Z? Sagar and Jetty off of Breaking Points. He used to be on the Hill with Crystal Ball. He used to be one of these. I think he was a White House correspondent at one time, if I'm not mistaken. I might be going through a dead zone. Y'all give Z a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Hear me. But yeah, I'm talking about Sagar and Jetty, South Asian cat, Indian cat. Just the. I'm not gonna say Sagar is not. I'm not gonna say he's insufferable, because he's not. But he is anti-black like a mug. He is kind of one of these Indian conservative cats who like went way too far with the. At one point, the Ben Shapiro worship. Just look at him as a white dude, just Indian, right? Just a curry dipped white conservative dude under the age of 40, right? He understands some of the manosphere stuff. He listens to some of the stuff that we listen to, but at the end of the day, it's just a white conservative dude that's curry dipped, huh? A white kind of low key, high key racist dude that's curry dipped, and I don't care if Marshall is his friend. That means nothing. By the way, Marshall's a black guy. That's why I keep on bringing him up, huh? Oh god damn! Thank you, a split Jim, for saying it. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Y'all look, y'all cheating me right now. Y'all are cheating Z. And a split Jim says 80 watching, 33 likes is diabolical work. Look, y'all. Let me check. I need to get see that. See Z done messed up because I need annoying ass music. I said I was gonna do the elevator music and I done messed up. Oh, you right. You're right. 82 watching, 35 likes. Oh, y'all cheating me. Y'all cheating Z. I thought y'all liked Z. Goddamn. Oh, y'all cheating Z. Huh? Y'all cheating Z. Let's see if them likes went up at all. Let's see. Okay, now they at 39. All right, 4 people. Look, you hate listeners. Y'all can still like the stream. Y'all listening, right? Y'all at work with the frown face, with the angry face, with the ugly face, but y'all still listening. Can I get a like, please? Right? Jeez. Right? I know we got some, excuse me, we have some hate listeners. I know. Right? We got some of the conservative brethren that listen, but they hate it. We got some of the women listening, but they hate it. Some of you swallow divester types. We know you there. We got maybe 1 or 2 white guys listening. They hate it. God damn, Z. Just talk about the 304, Z. Talk about the black 304, Z. I'm tired of you talking about this goddamn liberal stuff, Z. I know some of you white guys are out there listening, stealing our ideas and our content. Huh? Charles said hit the like chinny. Huh? Oh, you know what? I don't ever really think about that. That's true. Only Logical says some people listen without being signed in. Yeah, that part. Right? DJ Scan laughing. I'm telling you, some of them racist white dudes still listening. They listen for the ideas and the concepts, and they still ain't gonna run off to the white manosphere with it. They're listening so that they can have a black man what they feel is bring black women down to size with their racist asses. Talk about the black 304, Z. Huh? But they don't like when Z remind them, by the way, black men don't have to have money to, pogo stick up and down white women. They hate when Z bring that part up. Oh, they hate it. Huh? Dear white men, you're not the only ones doing this. Huh? Uh-oh. Dear white men, you're not the only ones doing this. Huh? And let's be very clear. Y'all do that as a coping mechanism. The whole, but black men are with fat white women. Stop. Y'all know that's not true. Stop. Y'all don't care when we have fat white women. Y'all care when it's a cute blonde and a cute brunette. Oh, that's what y'all care about. A cute redhead. Uh-oh. Huh? Uh-oh. Stop lying to yourselves. You know black men are not out here with only fat black women, fat white women, the women y'all don't want. Y'all rejects. Right? Oh, the Latinos. Oh, the Latinos hate when the brothers end up with the J-Lo looking Latinas. Oh, they hate it. Them Latinos hate it too. Huh? And they go, yeah, the white dudes are swagger jacking. They swagger jacking like a mug. What else would they be doing? That's their MO. The super inventors. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, KMS said it too. Swagger jacket, hashtag no Diddy. Hey, KMS though, I mean, we are talking about white men here and certain Latinos. It might be some Diddy in there. As a matter of fact, it's a whole lot of Diddy in there. White men? Oh yeah, there's a whole lot of Diddy in there. Let's be very clear. We know about y'all in y'all ways. And them God, I said God doom. Goddamn bathroom stalls. Ain't nothing fun. Y'all look, ain't nothing funnier than white conservative men getting caught in bathroom stalls with other men. Cross-dressing conservative white men gotta be the funniest thing in the world. Huh? Power bottom ass conservative white men gotta be the funniest thing in the world. Wait a minute, you a conservative? Check. You're Christian? Check. But you a power bottom? To a black man? Oh goddamn Z. Goddamn Z. Exactly, Vince. No, it ain't no Diddy KMS. No, this is definitely, we are definitely in the rainbow side of the conversation right now. Rainbow flags all over the place. It's a pride parade going on right now on Z's channel. Goddamn. Huh? Somebody tells Z he's lying. I just want to say that. To all the conservative brethren, to all the centrist brethren, to all you sneak listening ass white dudes, tell Z he's lying though. Forget how offended you are. Tell Z he's lying though. Huh? Y'all expect that from the white liberal men. Y'all expect that from the white conservative men. I mean, not white, excuse me. White liberal men, white progressive men. Y'all expect that from them. Y'all expect that from the progressive and liberal black men to be a little sweet, a little watery, right? A little, questionable, limp wrist. Y'all expect that. The funniest thing in the world is the straight-laced, head held high, pun intended, oops, goddamn Z. Huh? Buzz cut ass white dudes, semi-swole ass white dudes. Huh? Suit and hard bottoms, but pun intended, ooh, goddamn Z. No, when those white guys get caught up, all of a sudden everybody acting dumb like this ain't part of their culture. Huh? Dre said it's not a pride parade here, but you ain't lying. I'm telling you. And Dre in Canada, Dre tells you he lying. It's not the same thing in Canada. These Jordan Peterson types getting caught with dudes. Nuclear family. I was gonna say something else, but then huh? Hey, and Trell says in '04, I worked with the white dude, white guy, who would bring up his anti-same-sex marriage stance every day. Turns out he was in a live-in relationship and was the bottom. Look, man, as a progressive, to be honest with you, I don't care what these people do with in their private time. I really don't. But the hypocrisy, though, the hypocrisy, though. I really don't care what you do. I expect this from human beings. Human beings do weird and strange things and whatever you do with whatever you do what you want to do with your body parts. Huh? Do what you want to do with your body parts, especially if it's two consenting adults. It's none of Z's business. I don't even think there should be laws against them. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's the progressive side of me. Do whatever you want to do with your body parts, with whatever other consenting adult that want to do what they want to do with their body parts. It's none of Z's business. With that, the hypocrisy, though. You can't claim to be Mr. Ultra Mega Superman, stoic, tough and rough. You gang banging on breakfast. You chew rocks. You got the strong jaw. Oh God. Yeah, strong jaw with this conversation. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Huh? But then we find out you out here being the power bottom. Huh? Uh-oh. Huh? Just saying. We made a whole left turn. Oh, we made a whole left turn. Let's get back to topic. Let's get back to topic. Um, I went on the rant about Sagar and Jetty because it's tiring. It is tiring watching these non-black folks sneak dissing black folks, minimizing racist white rhetoric, racist white gestures, white folks sneak dissing black people. It's tiring watching these non-black folks, these kind of interlopers, doing the bidding of white racist society, right? And the whole thing that we were saying about the like, share, and subscribe, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and the people that are over here swagger jacking. Shout out to you, white guys. Shout out to you non-black guys who might be listening. Whatever, one or two Latinos I might have listening in, maybe an Asian here or there. I doubt it though. And y'all gives you a second. I know my background's crazy. Y'all gives you a second. Of course, the second Z mutes up, that's when the sound goes away. But yeah, um, I brought up that because I see that I see that my viewership and my subscribership is not aligned. You know, we already know what YouTube's on, especially when it comes to us in the Black Manosphere, especially those of us that make a bit of sense. Um, we already appreciate what that is. Shout out to all of you, the day ones. Shout out to the supporters. Shout out to all of you who frequent Z's channel, who ride out with Z. Look, it's gonna be a difficult, stretch upward. We know we're not of these people liking. Number one, Mr. Z is faceless. Number two, we're Black Manosphere, we're not White Manosphere. Number three, we tie this to politics and social issues. So we already understand what it's gonna be over here on this side. They're not gonna, especially because I'm not on the Andrew Tate train. I'm not doing the whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps thing. Um, they're not. I'm not going to be able to ride the algorithm pause, especially in the context of this conversation. I'm not going to have the algorithm wave. There we go. The same way others, and there's most of us in the Black Manosphere are not, right? So that just comes with the territory, right? Mr. Z has made peace with this a long time ago. So when if I suspect we have people watching that are not black men, thank you for listening. But yeah, you're gonna be offended sometimes, a lot of times, right? The black women that listen in, hopefully you got you a man. If you don't, you better get one, because it's about to be dark. The white men that's listening, yeah. Z, you gonna say it? Z don't say it. Hopefully you get your black man too. Y'all know I was gonna do it. You know I was gonna do it. You know I was gonna do it. Damn, Z, you a problem. I know. Right? Shout out to all you Latinos that's on the DL too. Huh? But in all seriousness, everyone, I covered Sagar, or I spoke about Sagar. Don't know if I want to say cover. I spoke about Sagar because these kind of interlopers are a problem to black people's politics. That's why I'm speaking on Sagar. The Sagars of the world are a problem concerning black people's politics, black men's politics, because they get in the way and they minimize bad behavior from white folks. They minimize it. They play it down. Huh? That's why I brought up Sagar. And actually, let's go back a little bit with KMS. And KMS is, and thank you for the super chat, KMS. I should have read this a while ago. And KMS is, to say black women are in an enviable position is an understatement. Yeah, it is. They must fight for their ethnic image externally and, more importantly, against themselves. Yep. If not, they will become black women in South America who have no public image. Yeah, that's a sobering thought. That's a sobering thought. That's a grim thing to come to the realization of. Because black men still care about black women. Black men still want to see black women do great. We just don't want their greatness to come at our expense and then for them to be standing on our back to be great. We don't want to be stepping stone Stacy for her greatness. Yeah. And KMS says in South America, if you're black, you don't exist, especially the women, because at least the men can somehow maybe get into entertainment or definitely athletics, right? And make a name for themselves or be some type of notable and then quote unquote elevate out of their blackness. Not really, but kind of. Huh? I know he's not South American, but the Sammy Sosas of the world, even with the Pepto Bismol look, well now he don't look like Pepto Bismol anymore. Now he looks like a weirdo white-ish dude. This is about as good as it's gonna get, Sammy. Right? Good point. And Vince's or standing on our crotch for their greatness. That part. Huh? Yeah, and KMS says exactly. Black women can power their way through it. Black women, nah, exactly. Hey. Yeah, he's Latin American, but I think he's Dominican, right? Dominican or Cuban? Dominican, I think, or is it Puerto Rican? Dominican, I want to say, right? Dominican. And Saint Cyr says Sammy is Latin American, though that's a general Latin American thing. Yeah, it is, and that's why I used it. Yep, right. And as you're saying here, KMS, look, I don't want that for black women. Let's be very clear. Mr. Z doesn't want to see black women suffer. Black women want to see black women suffer. Dominican, okay, yeah, he is Dominican. Okay, I had it right. Okay, thank you, guys. Saint Cyr, DJ Scan, and Nema. Black women want to see black women suffer because if they can't be white, then what's the point? If they can't be white women, then what's the point? Huh? Adric said, "Me no black." Right? Then what's the point? And that's sad. You think black men wouldn't want the money, right? You think black men wouldn't love to not be seen as a threat? To have people stop sabotaging us? To not have to work 2 and 3 times as hard? The reason why Mr. Z is not saying the power is because Black Uru actually gave Z something to think about that power and what it takes to get it and then what it takes to maintain it, which is true. You have to do some funky things to get that power and to maintain it, i.e. white folks, globally, definitely in the West, definitely in America. Huh? But yeah, we know this. And you know what's crazy? There are certain South American Afro Latinas who are absolutely stunning of varying shades, just absolutely stunning. Right? I'm not just talking about the lighter, brighter ones. I'm mean even the dark skinned sisters, right? Even the midnights. Once again, this woman is not South American, but she is Latina, right? The Amara Negras of the world. Stunning. Stunning when she was thicker, stunning now that she's slimmer. There's a lot of them all throughout South America. And they don't get no play. None. If black women want to make themselves that in America, black men can't stop them, and nor will we. If you want to make yourself that in America, dear black women, you have at it. Right? Have at it.
He's right, you know.
Huh? but there are examples throughout the world of how this is going to turn out for you.
Nigga, are you deaf? I'm a pimp named Slickback. Say it with me now.
You got to be deaf, dumb, and blind to not understand the history and what this may mean for black folks in general, black women specifically. Huh? And what happens when black men take a hands-off approach, pun intended, concerning black women. When black men say in aggregate, you know what, you got that, right? You want to be left alone? Shout out to Sovereign Woman. You want to be left alone? You want to be left to your own devices? We ain't gonna fight you to save you. You got that. When black men start being nonchalant about this, which we're here now. Well, huh? It's gonna look ugly. It's already looking ugly. And black men relegate black women mainly to one type of activity. There's only one thing left for black women. We know them non-black dudes ain't checking like that. And they're not going to put out the safety net for black women. Actually, as a matter of fact, they're ripping the safety net apart for them. And if more and more of your young black men decide to throw their hands up and leave black women to their own devices, there's only one thing left for black women to try to float. That Golden Girls life with a splash of munching on each other. Huh? That's what's left. That's exactly what we're saying. And Rogish says, could it be said that the way they engage their American dream has now run its course and they should pivot but refuse to? That's exactly what's going on, Rogish. Exactly. And Rogish, either they're going to pivot or they will be regulated, Rogish, to the gypsy class of America. They're already kind of soft there. They're already there. But that's just going to be somewhat of a foregone conclusion. That's kind of where we are already. Is the single baby mama community, black women, being the gypsy class or the Roma class of America. Right? And Global Free Agent says this, and he's right. Ego won't let them pivot. Upstar says, do you think this year a lot of them will get a reality check? I don't want to limit it to just this year. I think over this administration they will. How they respond to it is going to be a different question. But over this administration, I would say yes. I would say yes. I don't want to be hyperbolic about it. I don't want to say you're going to see droves of black women being destitute under a bridge. I do think that might increase, though. But I'm not saying all. I'm not even saying most. But I think this is more than just a shot against the bow. This is far more than that. I keep on referring to the Frontline documentary, The Age of Easy Money. And we already know, for those of us in the know, of quantitative easing and the system just pumping money, just since the 08 housing crash mainly, just pumping money into the system to try to get to float on this kind of cloud of money. And they're just drying up that liquidity. And there's a lot of things that were built off of that access money, that liquidity, including certain accesses that black women got to enjoy. Now, white women got to enjoy, if we're going to be honest. But a larger portion of white women are married, and I would argue white women's temperament allows for more of them to bite the bullet and to end up marrying a guy that they're lackluster about, maybe for a lifetime, where black women's ego just won't let them do it. And that's okay. I'm saying this on this channel, not so much for black women, but for black men to let go. The black women who are riding with you already. The black women who will go get their minds right and they weren't too egregious with the BS, they go pivot early enough. They're gonna pivot. They're already pivoting. Shout out to all of you that's sending me I'm compiling them. I'm gonna do a stream about it. That's sending me the accountability group of black women. I got like 3 or 4 already compiled. I'm gonna probably try to get to like maybe 6 or 7 before I do a stream about it. Of black women calling other black women out about their behavior, and they're not even coming off quote unquote mammying. Really, they're just calling out black women for the insanity, right? So the black women who are going to pivot, they're already pivoting. All the rest of them, hey, I don't know what to tell you about them, huh? All the rest of them, you don't have to leave them alone, right? Don't worry. Eventually, they're gonna be reaching up to you.
Could have saved your child.
Huh? And then you're gonna be like this. No. Eventually. And the eventually is not 20 years from now. The eventually is within the next 5 to 8 years, I would argue. Even if you get a Democrat at the end of Trump's term. Even if you get a Democrat, because I promise y'all this, we get a Democrat in there after this term of Trump, there's a lot of things they're not going to reverse. There's a lot of things they're not going to reverse. Concerning money, yeah. Especially if the precedent is set and you start seeing an uptick in nuclear family, especially amongst white folks, the start of nuclear family, you see the birth rate tick up maybe 1% or 2 or 3. Oh yeah, they're not going to change a lot of stuff concerning money. So be very clear. Black women going to feel this regardless. And as they reach up to you, huh?
Superman could have saved your child.
And your response to them is, I want them to come back to what Z is saying here. Huh? So let me give KMS this for his super chat, and we gonna do this for you, KMS, because you definitely sound like one of the brothers that like his exotic. So we got this for you. Once again, for those of you that checked out the screen, you got all the you got Zondas in there or Paganis. You have the Viper in there. You got the Audi R8 in there. I think I saw a Benz SLR in there. I saw Bentley Continental GTs in there. I saw the Porsche 911 GT3 in there. Yeah, all the exotics and then all the expensive stuff, the fast expensive stuff, all up in there, right? So once again, KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, the black women's public image, it's. I said it before. We care about black women more than a lot of these other content creators do. I'm not just talking about the other black men ones too. Black men also. I'm speaking about black women. Right? We extend olive branches. We warn them. We attempt to guide them. For those of you that remember, maybe over a year ago, the black woman that that popped up on Roger's stream talked crazy to the panel, and then the panel started giving her advice about raising her mixed daughter because her white Latino ex-husband used to DV her, and the panel started giving her advice towards the end. And when we ended the stream, we were giving her advice still in the back room. After the stream ended, y'all. Understand what Z said. The lady jumped on talking crazy to the panel. For those of you that remember, we still looked out. Because black men care about black women more than black women care about black men. I said it the way I meant it. Huh? What Mr. Z is saying is this wave that's about to sweep over America, there's going to be certain black women you can't save. Black men, you can't feel guilty about it. Huh? Black men, you cannot feel guilty about it. Mr. Shook to you says, oh, I remember clearly. Right? You're going to have to, Saint Cyr. And y'all know Mr. Z is not about it, but hey. And Saint Cyr says, grow your indifference, black men. She going to be trying to pull on your heartstrings, black men. But remember, she's going to be trying to pull on, and it's not just her. It's going to be a number of other black men who are going to be drowning with the women trying to save them, who are also going to be pulling on your heartstrings.
Man, that's a female.
Say it again for me, Cube.
Man, that's a female.
Huh? And black men are going to respond.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Hey, there's a reason black men are going to respond like that. There's a reason why black men are going to respond like this. There's a reason why black men are going to respond like this. It's because the women gave you their ass to kiss when they thought that they were going to be okay, and when they thought white women had enough set-asides for them. They gave you their ass to kiss. And even now, the ones that are late and that don't really understand how quick the landscape is changing on them, they still talking crap. Dear black men, do not feel guilty for watching them drown. You can't save them anyway. Black men, you could save a woman who's mean and rude and is in $150,000 student loan debt. You could save her. You earn $60,000 a year. You own you own $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. You can't save her at $150,000 in student loan debt and a bad attitude and maybe a kid or two from a different dude. You can't save her. She will drown you. And this is not necessarily, I see y'all saying is this Z signing the paperwork. This is not necessarily Z signing the paperwork, right? Where's that comment? I saw it earlier. I just saw it. Where did it go? Yo, gives you, yo, there it goes. Saint Cyr said, Z, is this you signing the paperwork? Nah. But I will say this. I am saying that there are some black women you're going to have to let drown. And don't feel guilty about it. Shout out to Sarge Willie Pete. It's not because black men didn't build Wakanda. That's not what it is. Sarge, you and a number of other black men are going to have to come to terms with this. Black women never wanted to be part of Wakanda. Uh-oh. Whether black men built it or not. Black women always wanted to be a part and on top of the European beauty standard. Let me say that again slow. They didn't want a black European standards. Black European. Ooh, you know what? We're going to keep that. Yeah, we're going to keep that one. Yes. Black women didn't want to be on top of an African or a quote unquote black beauty standard. That's not what they wanted. Black women wanted for white men and black men to kick off Margot Robbie or whatever blonde, blue-eyed or green-eyed brunette white woman. They wanted black men and white men and all other men to kick off that white woman off of the European beauty standard. Let's say that is again slow. Kick the white woman off of the European beauty standard and replace that white woman with a black woman. Huh? Preferably a Lizzo, right? Type. So this was not about black men not building Wakanda. Black women didn't want to be part of Wakanda. Sarge, Chrissy is a prime example of that, goddamn. Did you not hear the same thing Z heard? And I'm using Sarge as an avatar. It's not really me getting at him. Because you can hear sometimes in Sarge a feeling of guilt, a feeling of black men should be doing more. And I hear him. But no, Sarge, they don't want to be part of Wakanda that black men built. They want to be on top of what white men built because that's where their femininity is. And if you want me to tell you the truth, Sarge, that's where a lot of women of color, particularly in the West, but women of color across the planet, ooh, this gonna hurt a lot of men of color feelings. That's where they are mentally. That's why they are emotionally. They don't care about the men of their race elevating them if it doesn't mean that white men pick them up. They want to be on top of the European beauty standard. They want their femininity validated by the man, the white man. So, Saint Cyr, is the Z signing the paperwork? I guess you could say for some black women, but this is not Z signing the paperwork necessarily. I am saying, though, that there's some black women you can't do nothing with. They're going to have to drown. You can't do nothing with her at $200,000 of student loan debt, overweight with a bad attitude. And that's just the student loan debt. We ain't talking about that entry level luxury car that she owed $45,000 and $50,000 on, and $55,000 on. God forbid she bought a house by herself that she owed $400,000 and $450,000 on. Huh? Y'all realize Mr. Z just pretty much described to y'all $750,000 in debt, and she earns $75,000 and $80,000 a year. But yet she got a $50,000, $55,000 car note, $60,000 car note, $450,000 mortgage. Or well, the house is $450,000. Huh? And she's $200,000 in student loan debt, $250,000 in student loan debt. You can't, dear black men. This is why they dry begging. This is why they're aggressive begging. Huh? This is why they're walking around here with this face. Huh? This is why they're telling you what they expect.
I expect luxury. I expect service. And what I got was mediocrity wrapped in excuses.
Huh? That's why they sound like that. Of course they sound like that. Because they're $500,000 in debt. When everything is said and done, they're $750,000 in debt. I saw that clip with Kendra G essentially saying her bills come up to some $80,000 a month. She could have been humble bragging, and it's really not that much. She could have been. But if she's telling the truth, that lady is telling you her bills are almost $1 million a year. That's what she just said. That she's spending $960,000, so almost $1 million in bills a year. Dear black men, what can you do with that? No wonder her ex was some African brother. Of course. Listen, shout out to all you Nigerians. Y'all know they see you as a lick, right? And I don't mean it in the giggity way either. Huh? Trell says $80K a month. WTF? Look, I'll put the link in the description box after this. I have a bunch of things I have to put in the description box because Mr. Z been railing and ranting. Huh? Inspired Truth says $80K for real? How? That's what she said. Now, whether she's lying, you know, but that's what she said. Now, whether this was just 1 month, that's still all insane. That's a crap ton of money. Huh? We already know she got that used Bentley. But over $1 million, not over, almost $1 million a year in bills? And that's why Mr. Z said it. Shout out to the Roger Report, who inspired this, thought. Not that thought, but this thought. um, the women are saying six figures and saying 100,000, 150, 200 because they can't count. No, lady, you actually want a millionaire. You just don't realize you want a millionaire because you can't count. When you saying six figures and $100,000, that's because you can't count. The house you talking about is at least $750,000. The car you're talking about is $200,000. That G wagon, especially if you're talking about G63, huh? The rare ass exclusive Range Rover, the long wheelbase, yeah, those are $200,000 cars. The Escalade V is a $200,000 car, huh? God forbid you talking about the A6. I said A S600 Maybach. Yeah, all them big boys, all the big toys. Those are all 200 and 200 plus $1,000 cars, huh? $190,000 cars, $180,000 cars. The Panamera Turbo S, because you want to drive around in a Porsche, but you got a kid, so you take the four-door fast Panamera. The Taycan, well, the Taycan I don't think is 200, but still, that's because you can't count. You want to be in the gated community in your city, in the exclusive neighborhood. You're talking about $1 million man, ma'am. That's a good point, Rogish. Because yeah, that's a good point. And Rogish says, does this count her business or merely living expenses? That's a good point. Rogish, you know what I'm gonna share? The stream we did, was that last year or the year before? The stream we did where we spoke about the Birkin bags. We did a stream. The Rogish did a stream on his channel over a year ago at this point, and we were speaking about and I played or Rogish played on his channel what I brought up about from Wisecrack about the advertising to young girls, the lifestyle, right? The lifestyle branding to young women, and we spoke about the Birkin bag and how some of these purses are $500,000, 300 and some odd $1,000, right? The cheapest one I think was like 14,000 at the time, but some of them went up to $50,000. I'm not 50, sorry, $500,000. Right? You have all these type of bags, YSL bags, Louis bags. All these things are $1,700, $2,000, $5,000. The cheapest YSL bags are like $1,700. This is this ultra luxury stuff that these women aspire for. They say six figures because they cannot count. The man they're describing is at least at the cheapest end a $250,000 man. At least $250,000 a year, at the least. But they can't count. So sign that to Kendra G. Kendra G with the $80,000 a year thing, man. Come on, man. Right. So yeah. Let me read this one now. And Els Active says, Anton FD Chrissy, come on, man. Boosie voice. Hysterical. I'm telling you, I'm always floored by how much brothers from around the world can reference very American things. I know the internet has democratized the town square so everybody can see everything from everywhere. Right? I said this the other day on my stream. But it's still like, I'm still slow on the uptake of just like, I say it and I know it and I appreciate it, but sometimes even I don't appreciate how much American entertainment is just so ubiquitous everywhere on the planet. And y'all can reference things that are really niche. Right? So the Boosie, come on, man. Like that is so American and like a very Louisiana Southern American thing. That is so Southern. That Maine is Tennessee, that's Louisiana, because we don't even say it like that in Florida. Right? So yeah, that's very, very, very American. So L's active in the UK saying that. Yeah, that's yeah, bro. It's not even like just general American because the brothers in Cali don't sound like that. The brothers in the Northeast don't sound like that. The brothers in northern mid excuse me, the northern Midwest don't sound like that. But you get that Maine, like you get that in Tennessee. You get that sometimes in the Midwest, but really it's the South and certain parts of the South too, because that's not a Georgia thing. That's like yeah, a Louisiana thing, a Tennessee thing. That's not really a North or South Carolina thing either. It's not a Florida thing, right? So yeah, but yeah, so I was active saying that yeah, yeah, but exactly. To all of you hate listeners, you ghost watchers, like, share, subscribe. You can hit the super chat too. You too can help to make Z's channel great, right? And y'all give Z a second. Actually, let's see what we looking like. Let's see what we looking like. 91 watching. What we got on the likes? We got 58 likes. Well, y'all cheaping out on Z with the likes. Oh, we got Charles in here today. We got Charles in here. What's going on, Charles? But yeah. And once again, thank you for that, Els. And Els said, well, this is another super chat. And he says, Z PhD fund. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Look, we working on that. Z got we got so much to do. I already told y'all about one of the things that Z is working on, right? So we got to work on that. But yeah, going back to school is definitely on the itinerary. Yeah, I should have never gave you niggers money, but like, yeah, BGS, Dr. T, Dr. Thunder, like, yeah, I don't want to be wasted talent, as they say. I don't want to be wasted talent, and I definitely want to give some of them feminist sisters that work, those white racist folks that work. I don't even want to stop at just that. If anything, in Mr. Z's ideal world, I don't know how this would work with time, but I would go to law school also, because I am itching to take Ben Shapiro's head straight off his shoulders in a debate. Y'all don't have like I'm not good enough to do it yet, but oh boy, I want to have him out there, shoulders down, neck down, just there for everybody to know not to F with Z. Rhetorically, oh yeah, we look, shoulders off. Shoulders and head on two other sides of a blade, of a razor. Okay, and Rogish in Maine is Midwest too. Okay, right. Man. So yeah, look, yeah, that so if it was up to Z, we would be going back to school and it's just time, y'all. It's time. It's not even the discipline anymore. It's more time. When I was younger, it was the discipline. Now it's really the time. Which this is how these things go. And L's active for the 2 super chats. You get one of these, right? I need to put. You know what? Didn't I put this here? I didn't. Oh, damn, L's active. I thought I did put this here. Let me see something. Give me a second, L's active, because I thought I had this. Give me a second. Did I not put this here? Maybe not. Give me 1 second, but we don't do justice to L's active. If I'm looking for that is. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Ha ha ha. There we go. Give me a second, L's active. We got something for the super chat. I don't know why this wasn't here earlier. And here we go. European as hell. There we go. Thank you for the super chat, L active. Thank you for the super chats. For those of you that don't know, rally cars. Literally, you saw how high off the ground it was? Let's play it one more game for L's active. There you go. That's real, y'all. That's not edited. That's real, y'all. That's not edited. Flying in the air, right? And Passport OG said, promise you'll get Charlie Kirk too. Look, if I could behead Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk is quick work, right? If I could behead Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk would be quick work, right? I want to go after Candace Owens too. To me, she's more talented than both of them. She may not be as formally educated as them, but she's talented. She's more talented than both of them. But she's full of crap too. Huh? There's a number of them that they're gonna have. Hey, I'm going after Jordan Peterson eventually too. Look, let Z graduate from law school, take debate. Oh, it's a wrap. Y'all gonna watch some of y'all favorite conservative folks getting beheaded because I'm ready for them, and I don't watch their debates. I'm studying their debate tactics at my level right now. Huh? And I promise you, they ain't gonna catch me slipping like Jordan Peterson did Michael Eric Dyson. He ain't gonna catch me because I'm not gonna come at you morally. That doesn't mean that Mr. Z is not gonna use any logical fallacies, because I'm going to engage in it. You better believe I will. But I'm not gonna hit you with the appeal to morality. Nope. Because concerning black folks, these people have none. Huh? Dre says, Z, starting a new second job today, that might lead to a business, God willing. Hey, that'd be good. Right. Yeah, I'm not against black men earning some more money, doing right by their family and their children. It's always a good thing. Right? Huh. Man. Lifestyle of the rich and shameless. Shout out to the Lost Boys. Right? Shout out to the Lost Boys. I'm referring to the right group, right? Somebody correct Z if he's wrong. Somebody correct Z if he's wrong. Right. And Southern Purchase says, and thank you for the super chat, Southern Purchase. And Southern Purchase says, super chat from Sister Purchase. The talented 10th AKA types seem to be okay with Michelle's behavior. Okay. They are super naive, and we lower level black women seem to understand white women's tactics better. Y'all's opinion. Okay. And you said that's from your sister? I think a certain level of black women might be able to weather the storm a little bit better than the rest of y'all. Speaking to your sister, Southern Purchase, these women they may not have a DEI type of job, or they're tenured professors, right? And they're used to being around liberal white men and women, Latinas and Latinos and Asians. And so they get to, quote unquote, stick it to the man. They get to be the angry black woman in those spaces, and they're good financially. They're good where they are in their life, in their career. They own their own stuff. They've handled their money pretty well. And so there's a handful of black women who are just situated in a way where they can be antagonistic to the system and to non-black folks, and they're going to be okay. The vast majority of other black women are not in that place. And so the AKA types, there's a handful of them that are okay. Their house is already paid off, right? They're okay financially, and they can maybe engage in this kind of antagonism and still be straight. Once again, the masses of black women are not there, right? And so the AKA types thinking there's nothing wrong with what Michelle did, that sounds good. I think y'all taking this negative liberty way too far. I think y'all taking the who gon' check me boo way too far. I think y'all taking the kiss my rear end thing way too
Who
far.
gon' check me, boo?
I think these women are taking it way too far. I think it sound nice.
I said what I said.
Huh? But y'all don't really appreciate Number one, y'all done drove away way too many black men. We can't help you right now. And that's for the ones that would like to. Y'all done drove away them too. Number one. Number two, understand the type of white man that's in power right now. This is not the George Bush Sr. white man. This is not the George Bush Jr. white man. This is the worst parts of Reaganism white man. Unleashed. Even Reagan might not go as far as, and he was a piece of work concerning black folks. You dealing with a whole bunch of worst parts of Reagan, worst parts of Nixon type of white man. Huh? And antagonizing them, especially when none of the apparatus, even if they wanted to, can defend you right now, it's not a good look. Ed Blum already went at the NGOs and scared them from helping you. Huh? The Mitch McConnells and the Anton Scalia, they already made sure to strip, and I know he died years ago, but still, they made sure to strip affirmative action. The Ed Blums of the world. Then he went at the NGOs that tried to find a little loophole way of doing things. The Ed Blums once again went at the schools, the colleges and universities for trying to fill quotas with black students, namely black women. That definitely affects all of you African and Caribbean sisters going to these Ivy League schools. Guess what this means for you? Huh? So there are a couple of black women that's gonna be okay still, but for the most part, this antagonism is not a good look because once again, at least for the next 2 years, there is no institution that could defend black women right now. None. Outside of the church. Have fun with that, because guess where black men aren't either right now? Ooh. Huh? Black women are just out here right now. I don't think they really appreciate how out here they are. Black men are not in the church. Huh? Black women are out here asked out. What Compassion said, asked out to the market? Yeah, they asked out to the market. They asked out to non-black men, non-black women. Oh, y'all gonna have to get it where y'all fit in, and none of the institutions are there to help you. The Supreme Court, the House, the lower house, the Senate, the presidency. That is executive, judicial, legislative. Ooh. Huh? We already know the banking sector, so all of that, the fourth estate, the media, let's see, black women. The fourth estate, we'll see. Huh? It ain't looking good because the mainstream is not where it's at no more. It's about social media and these podcasts and podcast bros. And guess what? All the leading, I think it was the top 10 podcasts in America are all white men, mainly conservative stuff. The Joe Rogans and stuff, that air quotes fake centrist crap, the Theo Vons and stuff like that, the Ben Shapiro's, they're like in the top 10, top 15, top 20. Have fun, black women. Huh? So that AKA being antagonistic, you got to be in positions of power to do that and not get your head taken off. You could be antagonistic on the bottom if you want to, but how that's going to work for you? Okay, you hurt this person's feelings, and then they got the tools to hurt you economically, politically, socially. Now what? Fannie Willis, anyone? Goddamn, Z. Huh? Marilyn Mosley, anyone? These people are doing pretty standard messed up politician stuff. Huh? This would hurt them politically in any season. But right now it's doing more than hurting them. Huh? So, excuse me, you don't have the excuse me, you don't have any branch of government. You don't have the fourth estate. You don't have the media. So now what? So being antagonistic and clapping it up for Michelle Obama because she stuck it to the man, she stuck it to Trump. Hey, half the reason why Trump is president is because Michelle Obama's husband couldn't not antagonize the white man because he thought the white man couldn't be president. For all of us that remember that goddamn press dinner, and I said it then. I wasn't part of the Black Manosphere yet. I said it then. I was like, did Barack Obama forget who the hell he talking about? Yeah, Trump with the birther crap. Yes, okay. You told him he was essentially, paraphrasing, he would never be where you are because you forgot you were a black man in America and Trump was a white man in America. And you don't tell no white man what he can't do in America, even if he can't do it. There's a reason why we say America, I'm just saying. And so for Michelle Obama to not show up to not just Trump's inauguration, but Jimmy Carter's funeral, huh? And for your average, AKA, and if you say AKA, then I'm guessing most of the sororities are cool with it. The Divine Nine, the women are okay with it. And some of the brothers are going to ride out with them because we got to protect our black women. All right, go ahead and drown with them. Huh? Go ahead and drown with them.
I said what I said.
Uh-oh. Huh? So yeah, Southern Purchase. I'm yeah, not smart. Not smart. So yeah. And Els Active for that, you get we going off-roading, we going off-roading. We talking about seeing that we're keeping in the theme of being sky high. Let's get sky high. TRX getting airborne. Was that 6,000 pounds in the air, 707 sun horsepower, 710, 720, whatever horsepower, 6,000 pound truck in the air. Right. With the bros, well, it's white bros here, but yeah. Huh? So Southern Purchase, hopefully I answered your sister's comment, right? Let me make sure I read it again just in case. Yeah. Super chat from Sister Purchase. The talented 10th AKA types seem to be okay with Michelle's behavior. They are super naive, and we lower level black women seem to understand white women's tactic better. Y'all's opinion? Yeah, well, white women use black women as a tool, right? As a mascot, as a what's the word I'm looking for? Mascot is the best thing. And these white women always send black women out there on dummy missions, right? They always send black women out there on dummy missions, and black women sign up. And that's not Mr. Z necessarily calling former First Lady Michelle Obama dumb. But I am saying for the black woman to be the one to have to show her rear end, no, y'all need to let white women handle white men by themselves. Whatever they're feeling, however they might feel slighted, they need to handle white men themselves and stop sending y'all out there to go crash out for them. Huh? Scapegoat, exactly. Right? Cannon fodder, exactly. Thank you, Lemmy. Thank you, Dre. Right? Then that's all it is. And and actually, Southern Purchase, make sure you tell Sister Purchase this. I said this a couple years ago. These women are your class enemies. These black women do like some of the white women do. These are what the Kim Fosters and the Paris Malons do. They gas y'all up with all this rage and anger towards black men. Then these sisters turn around and either marry a white man or a black man on y'all ass. And y'all be still so, energized and still so bothered by black men. Y'all turn around and never get married, never have children, and be out here struggling, looking sick. Meanwhile, Paris Malone, y'all haven't heard from her in months. She got into it with the Exoticals and she just left, but she made hundreds of thousands of dollars off of black women, if not millions. And at one time, she had the largest channel of any one of those Chrissy's and Yanni's and Cynthia G types. Because Paris had 300 and something thousand before all of them. 300 and some odd thousand subscribers. Huh? She was saying some of the most vile things, but she didn't use profanity. Huh? And she did it in her fake cutesy way. She didn't use profanity, but she was saying some of those vile things about black men. And remember, she was the one who danced on Terry Nichols' grave. She was the one who danced on Toby's grave. That was the African brother that got deleted by that white girl down here in Miami, if I'm not mistaken. Huh? Those women to Southern Purchase sister, to Sister Purchase, those women turn around and get married though. Sometimes to black men. They gas y'all up with all the anti-black men rhetoric and they turn around and get married on y'all ass and they leave y'all out there. I've said it before. I've been saying this I've been saying for years. These women walk y'all off the edge of the cliff and right before y'all fall off, they pick y'all pockets and they turn around and they don't fall with you. And when y'all fall off the edge of the cliff, you know what edge of the cliff look like? It looked like being the sexual plaything to any man, white, black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise, who won't marry you. You just collecting bodies. Falling off the edge of the cliff means a lifetime supply of antidepressant pills, right? That's what it looked like. Huh? A lifetime of batteries for y'all toys, pun intended. Rose toys. Huh? As a matter of fact, y'all gives you a second. Y'all gives you a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Y'all gives you a second. I can't do it. Give me a second. Let me see if I can. A second, y'all. Let me see if I can do this the way I want to. Give me 1 second, everyone. Ha 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 ha. Yep. Okay, let's see. Maybe Mr. Z can do this. Wait a minute. Y'all bear with. Because I might be able to pull this rabbit out the hat. Y'all gonna laugh with this one. So I'll be trying, y'all. This should do it. Maybe. Come on, work with me. Haha. There we go. Y'all gives you a second. We got set for y'all. Let's see if it does what I want it to do. If this does what I want it to do, y'all gonna be laughing. Yep, there we go. And because Mr. Z is a funny guy, I'm not that funny, y'all. I'm really not. I'm corny as hell. Like I said, y'all gonna be out here falling off the edge of the cliff. What else does the edge of the cliff look like? Playing with your Rose toy. There you go. Huh? I saw it the other day and I forgot to put it, but Mr. Z got it now. Right? We got visuals now for everything. Not for everything. I'm missing a couple of things. Right? Say that again. For the people that missed the Z, y'all gonna be falling off the edge of the cliff. Look like a lifetime supply of antidepressant pills. It looked like being the human trampoline for non-black men. Huh? It looked like playing with your Rose toy. Your gas-powered, hydroelectric-powered Rose toy. Huh? And the Kim Foster types make sure that she's good though. She makes sure she's good. Meanwhile, she sell you on how these men are not on your level. So and I'm tying this to the AKA stuff. We're still on topic. Huh? So they get to be antagonistic because maybe they have the money and the status and the connections to be antagonistic towards white society. And by the way, there's a space for black people to be antagonistic to an anti-black system. But let's be very clear. The fallout of that does not affect all black women the same. A handful of sisters could get out of that. Huh? A handful of sisters, a handful of black women have the resources and the connections where they're going to be straight regardless. The masses of you are not. You going to be at home crying yourself to sleep at night after you done diddled yourself. Huh? You might have to engage in some same-sex loving relationships. Talking about love is love, Z. You can't help who you love, Z. Huh? So to sister purchase, I say proceed with caution. These other black women, they front and they pretend like they care about black women writ large, but the days are over when y'all could cobble together this social program with this okay job, this middle management job, and y'all gonna be okay earning your $45,000 and $48,000 a year, and you could still buy a house off of that. You still eventually buy your used baby Benz off of that. Now Tesla Model 3 off of that, and you could claim to be rich, auntie, while you single with no kids. Those days are gone. That was our mothers. That was Xers and boomers that could pull that. Be single for decades. Huh? They have a friend who come and knock the cobwebs out every week or two, and she go on cruises with him, and she take trips with him, but he's just a friend. Huh? And in between the exercising with her friend, if you ever go visit her, or you ever come into town and you don't want to spend no money on a hotel, and you stay with your aunt for a couple days, and late night you hear the toy going off. Huh? Because you in the room next door. Those days are done. And so these AKAs maybe don't understand that. These sorority types maybe don't understand that because they're okay financially. They're married, or they're divorced and took their husband for whatever he got. So they're okay financially. They're going to leave the rest of y'all in the lurch to diddle yourselves. or to be the human trampoline to some non-black man? Maybe one of your bosses or coworkers. Huh? Uh-oh. So, you know, and Southern purchases. Thanks. I'm in the South, and my Northerner and West Coast college mates think it's sweet out here. Don't tell my brother I hijacked his YouTube. Hysterical, right? Man, right. Inspired Truth, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Inspired Truth broadcast says, "Good morning, Z. What's going on? What's going on?" Right. And let's give you one of these for your super chat. Huh? What we want to give him? Do we want to give him? We want to give him a Z doing a burnout, a nice smoky burnout, right? There you go, a nice smoky burnout. Inspired Truth when he leaving them women's houses. Skirt. Huh? Or you leaving their house more like this, Inspired Truth, or more like this? Huh? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Inspired Truth says, "What about the Hyperion XP1, Mr. Z?" Let's see what you're talking about. The experience. Wait a minute. Did Mr. Z miss something? Let's see something. Hyperion. Oh, this joint. I didn't know it was real. The Hyperion XP1 is a hydrogen-powered hypercar that uses fuel cells to store energy instead of batteries. I didn't know. I've seen pictures of it, but I didn't know it was real. Has a range of over 1,000 miles. Top speed 221 miles an hour. 0 to 60 in 2.2 seconds. Oh, that's real, right? Fuel cell system. Uh-oh, NASCAR technology. I didn't know it was real. Right. I didn't know it was real. Okay. Right. Goddamn Bruce Owen Wayne. And Bruce Owen Wayne says no reckless panel today. I don't want to risk it. We trust me, we should be good for tomorrow. We should be good for tomorrow. So we'll bring up a panel tomorrow so we can speak about what we've been speaking about here. And there was other things I want to cover actually. Do I got time to speak about one more thing? Because there was something I wanted to cover and I lost it in my goddamn history. And I don't know if I looked for it. And I don't know, because I know I want to cover the Michelle Obama stuff. I know I want to cover Sauger. Yeah. And Michelle, look, man. And I'm watching what you guys are sending me. Yeah. The Dutchmen are making baby mothers in Africa. I said, yeah. I'm watching what you guys are sending me. Right? When hypergamy goes wrong, shout out to Destro, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm watching it. And I'm compiling. You know what else I'm compiling? And I actually might want to do a stream on? Black women from the West who are going to Asia or anywhere outside of the US in the West, and they're not having great experiences dating outside of the West. Hey, didn't Mr. Z try to tell them? I gotta find a way to get in contact with one of the ladies from the Breakdown a Woman's Perspective, because I really want them to post the stream they did about Ebony K. Williams a couple years ago. Because like I think that was one of my best works, right? Because I said it then, black men can move about overseas in a way y'all can't, because y'all still looking for a paymaster. And I want to be clear to all women in the West, not just black women. Once y'all get outside of the West, the income drops, the wealth drops. If you're not gonna end up with an elite man from China, an elite man from name your country, any country in Africa, any country in South America, any country in the Middle East outside of Dubai and them, right? The UAE or maybe Saudi Arabia. But everybody forget, once you get outside of the West, the average income pretty much drops to like $8,000-9,000 a year type thing. Once you get outside the West or any quote unquote developed country, that thing's gone. Right? Let me actually look it up for y'all. While we talking. Average income on the planet, right? Gives you a second. Maybe I said that right. I did say it wrong. I did look this up before, and it wasn't looking good at all. Gives you a second. Yep. According to available data, the global median income is approximately $7.56 per day. $7.56 per day. It ain't looking good, y'all. It ain't looking good. Dear Western women, that's what when black men say, and the black manosphere say, hey, you ain't gonna be looking good. According to 2013 data from Gallup, the median household income worldwide is $9,733. Right? That was 2013. And that was median household income was damn near $10,000. Okay, fine. That was over a decade ago. That was the median household income. Even if you double it over the past 10 years and say, okay, cool, now it's 20,000. You cut that in half for the man. That means he's bringing home about $10,000 a year. Huh? Even if you say he's bringing in 75%, that's still $15,000 a year. It ain't looking good. Huh? So I'm gonna cover, black women around the world talking about their dating situation, and we didn't talk about looks yet. We didn't talk about weight yet. We didn't talk about these men and their concepts of femininity and what it means to be demure and body count, et cetera, et cetera. We didn't speak about that. We literally just talk about your standards and money. We didn't talk about the average height of men in other places being under 5'9", under 5'10". We didn't talk about all of the things that he wants and that you want. We just going off of the money right now. Huh? Exactly. St. Cyr says beauty standards are different globally. Huh? Uh-oh. It ain't looking good. It's just not. And Bruce on Wayne for the super chat, you get one of these.
Yep, I'm flying through the air. This is not good.
Yeah. And thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, right? So that's what it looked like right now. It ain't looking good, everyone. It's not looking good. Huh? 10,000. So once again, that means that once again, as we said, men in the West can move about in a way that women in the West cannot. When looking for love and intimacy and paying for sex or whatever you want to call it, sex tourism, men can move about in a way that women cannot. Especially if you want to do more than just sex tourism. When we start talking about relationships, it's just sorry. Right? And yes, ladies, you are correct. It's not fair. It's not fair, right?
That's not fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
Yeah, it's not. And huh? But Mr. Z been saying this.
Message.
Huh? So Mr. Z been saying it for some years now. But y'all think that because y'all are women, y'all just automatically on the right side of history and you're always gonna win.
That's a female.
Hey. No? Huh. Black men have a certain vision and worldview, and it's interesting listening to black women rail on about essentially standpoint theory and taking it way too far, but they really don't appreciate a lot.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
Huh? If you really want to speak about standpoint theory and perspective and how nobody could tell you anything because you're black plus woman and intersectionality, that sounds nice. Huh? Does the rest of the world believe you to be the moral compass, or were they just playing you? Were women, white women, playing you the whole time? Huh? Were you being played the whole time? Were you playing yourself?
Message.
Just saying. Were you playing, dear black women? Were you playing? And going back to Southern Purchase's sister Purchase. Them AKAs gonna have y'all out here looking sick. Those sorority sisters, those and I said it, the petite bourgeoisie of the black community, which is essentially highly educated black women, some connected black women, they're gonna have you looking out here looking sick.
Right, you know.
Huh? Because they can move about in a way you can't. Huh? They're perfectly okay with leaving the black community, well, looking like this.
That's how it starts, you know. Taking bitches out to eat, meals and whatnot. Next thing you know, you wake up in a rest haven for hoes. A sanctuary for scandalous skeezers and stunts.
Just saying. Now every time I hear meals and whatnot, I want to bust out laughing because of Trell. Because that wasn't my favorite part of it. My favorite part is the scandalous skeezers and stumps. But because Trell think meals and whatnot is funny, now I think it's funny. Because it is. But it's still scandalous skeezers and stunts. That's the funniest part. Right? Somebody tells you he's lying. Sister Purchase, don't follow behind these women. They can afford financially, at least, to be all right, at least for now. I would like to direct you to Real Talk with Yanni. Still talking crap. But she got her luxury condo. She got some type of BMW she was bragging about a couple years ago. She's straight. The rest of her subscribers, on the other hand,
As we don't have the capacity.
huh? They looking sick. It's looking like the struggle. Because now men are looking like at them every time they come around.
You gonna pay what you owe,
Men are looking like at them every time they come around. Men are looking at them every time they come around. Huh? Black men in particular. Black men in particular, right? So yeah, the Dr. Umar Johnsons are going to try to shame us.
Man, that's a female.
But our response is going to be
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
huh? So, hey, y'all need to start checking those sisters. Y'all need to start telling them to shut the hell up. And they have not been a help to you. Lying to you about how you could do better by yourself. Lying to you about you gonna be straight. You don't need no man. Yeah, that sound nice. Maybe you could have pulled that in the mid-70s up until, well, yesterday. Maybe you could have pulled that for the past 50-ish years, a little bit over 50 years. Maybe you could have pulled that. Not anymore. It's a new day. Huh? Not anymore. It's a new day.
I am inevitable.
Huh? It's not looking good, ladies. No. L says we need you to get on to Dr. Umar too when that PhD lands. I'm with him on Pan-Africanism though. Yeah, to a certain extent I am too. I do think what happens in America goes global with black people and vice versa. What is allowed to happen to black folks in Africa happens to black folks in Europe, in Canada, in America, in the West, and definitely in Latin America. Definitely in Latin America. Oh boy. No. But I don't know if I'm gonna have time. I think so. I think a Dr. Green Gorilla or Dr. T. Hassan Johnson gonna make quick work of Dr. Umar Johnson, and they might get to him before I do. Even if Mr. Z was to win the lottery tomorrow, and I dropped the jobs and I went straight through school, not failing one class, not having to take one class over, straight to PhD, let's say, or straight through law school, you still looking at maybe a decade of school, almost. For law school, at least a good, yeah, 7 years, 7 years, because I'm almost done with my A. So yeah, right. And PhD, well, oof, how long is it gonna take me to come up with yeah, maybe a decade at the least. You see what I'm saying? That's more than enough time for another brother with a PhD in this space or who's working on it to catch up to Dr. Umar Johnson and give him that quick work. And it's not about quick work just to say, oh, I'm right. It's to say, brother, have you actually done the math on how this is supposed to work for the black family when you have these insufferable black women that we're supposed to take care of and to do right by, but they're insufferable, mean, snarky, rude, and they still got a propensity to divorce your ass? Have you done the math? Huh? Have you done the math with these I do what I want because I can ask black women? Huh? Who gonna tell me what to do as black women? Have you done the
Who gonna
math?
check me, boo?
No. Uh-oh. Huh? Just asking. So, yeah, I think another brother will catch him before I do. Right? Yeah. And Saint Cyr says, Z, I remember in my freshman year, a 55-year-old dude told me to take my time and figure myself out before throwing money down the drain at something. That's why I went back at my age now. Go get it. Yeah, right? Better you said, Ninja BGS said I will help you with the papers. Just go get the damn PhD. Hey, let's be honest. I'm gonna put Miss Z to work too, and younger sister Z. Oh, this is gonna be a group affair. and shout out to Sister Z. I will say that. Whenever she gets honored, she shouts me out. I will say that. I gotta give her that. Sister Z would definitely say, hey, because I don't think I ever wrote or a paper, but I definitely proofread. I definitely helped to edit. I definitely gave different ideas and concepts. Definitely gave her something to think about. So yeah, she shouts me out, right? And she runs things by me often. So I gotta give her that. I gotta give her that. She'll shout me out. She'll shout me out even to this day, right? So I'll say that. I gotta say that, right? But yeah, so now it's gonna be a group affair. You already know how Z is. I just like Sister Z. I have no problem. Hey, shout out to the Black Manosphere. We did it, right? It ain't gonna be a Z did it. No, we did it, right? So yeah. That y'all know how Z operate. It'll still be the same Z. I ain't gonna win the lottery and be like, who? Black Manosphere, who? I don't know who those guys are. Sound like these weirdos calling us incels and whatnot. Those Nick cells, I don't know who those are. Right now, I ain't gonna do that to y'all. I ain't gonna do that to y'all. Right. So yeah, I think we just about we about to hit the 3 hour mark. So we'll see what we come up with tomorrow. We should be doing a panel tomorrow. Y'all know how this goes. Panel discussion tomorrow. Hopefully I start early enough. Um, you know, um, so that's the plan. I definitely want to cover the Michelle thing. Michelle Obama, the former first lady. Look, I don't think it's a good look. I think this is not just a cultural thing. This goes to what I was saying about the culture war. And I can't believe I forgot what I was going to say about Scott Ritter, why I brought him up. I'm going to go back and listen and kind of rack my brain so maybe I can bring it up tomorrow because I was going to be a really good point and I went off a tangent and I went too far and then I lost it. But I'm bringing up former First Lady Michelle Obama to say Mr. Z is a bit frightened for Black women. This is not the time to be showing your ass, right? This was a really contentious election. The culture war was heavy in this election. I know people care about the cost of things and inflation and immigration, right? I get that. I get that, especially for the right, they're using the state, especially for working class and poor people who can't afford to send their kids to private school, who can't afford to send their kids to Catholic school, right? Who can't afford to call their local politician or the congress member or the senator and say, yo, why is this commercial running on TV? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Can we do something about this? I understand how they're using the state to curtail some of the most pernicious behavior and activity coming from a very liberalized media, right? I get it. But a lot of this was culture war stuff too, this election. If we're going to be honest, let's call a thing, huh? And the left lost. As I said earlier, the left got a shellacking. And y'all don't really appreciate family the way the right and the centrists appreciate family. And it was proven any speculation the right and the centrists had, y'all proved it with those goddamn commercials and advertising, essentially asking white women to vote against what their husband is talking about. Huh? And y'all lost the culture war. Y'all lost it. Now the edge is with the right. Right? Y'all gives you a second. I'm sorry, y'all. It was Mr. Z's background, and it's still a little loud, but hopefully y'all don't have to hear that still. And yeah. So this is not the time to be with this. That doesn't mean that we should keep on deferring, what Black people, ADOS folks in particular, are owed. Because I do think, unlike a lot of people, I do think ADOS FBA are owed. And I think the economic environment that's forthcoming is not going to be kind to working class and lower middle class and definitely working poor folks. I definitely think America is at a crossroads on how is it going to treat people. Is it going to be about the money or is it going to be about the people? Is it going to be about a handful of folks not just having money? I want to be very clear. And this is the inner leftist in Z. The problem with having people with that much money is the outsized power and influence they have over politics and then over your life. No one should have that much money. Shout out to Kanye in Power. His song Power. No one man should have all that power. Yes. Because everybody, it's all good when that person's doing things that align with your worldview. What about when they're not? And no one can curtail them because we allowed for them to strip the institutions that would limit that power. Republican or Democrat or independent. And that's something Americans are going to have to really ask themselves. This is the debate right now. Are we going into Gilded Age 2.0? We here now. We here. Huh? And the outsized power that these folks have, you gonna feel it. Dear black women, you gonna feel it the most because you asked out to the market more than anyone else. So the shifting of the landscape, you made sure you left yourself out here with no protection, black men. Thank you, Dre. Exactly what Z is saying. Ish was all good just a week ago. Shout out to Bobby Smurda. Right? Where's the hat? We don't know. It's still in space somewhere. Huh? The hat is somewhere by Pluto. That's where the hat is. Huh? Ish was all good. Perfect statement, Dre. Perfect statement. Perfect timing, too. Ish was all good just a week ago. Huh? You better catch up. Dear black women, it's going to look ugly. It's looking ugly already. That's why Jasmine Crockett was on the congressional floor crying her eyes out. She wasn't crying her eyes out, but begging. Huh? In her black girl way, in her black woman way, begging. Huh? That's why because she know black girl magic is built off of the money and the generosity and the kindness of others. The thumb on the scales for black women from the left. Black girl magic doesn't exist in a vacuum. Jasmine Crockett gets it. The rest of these black women and sisters don't. Maybe the Southern Purchase sister does, and maybe her homegirls do, but the rest of these, they don't. Huh? Oh no, that ain't never gonna be Z. No, look, I have core fundamentals that ain't never gonna be Z. A lot of this is a crapshoot. That's why, if y'all recall, when what is her name? Camille Austin, the cute ass chocolate sister that I covered a few years ago. It's still part of my videos, not my lives. I covered her a few years ago, and then Charles covered her also. Gorgeous chocolate sister, beautiful. She was the one that was crying because she had just left the wedding, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna ever have babies," and she was the one that said, "I don't want that Negro. I don't want a Negro. I want that Negro, that sister." If y'all recall, Mr. Z said, "I can appreciate that. I would like to know your dating history to see if you done fumbled, right?" But look, it's a crapshoot. Yes, working hard and being disciplined and following the script makes it easier, and you're more likely to get to where you want to be and have what you want. But understand it's a dirty game, number one, and ain't no fairness. We already understand that. Life is not fair. This is something we know, especially as black men, especially as straight black men, right? But yeah, let me read the comment because Mr. Z over here speaking to the comment, not reading it. And Mr. Shukti says, Z wins the lottery, then proceeds to tell Negroes they gonna have to pick themselves up by their bootstraps. No, they ain't never gonna be Z. I mean never. Right? That one you can hold Z too. Right? When I tell an individual black man you messing up, especially someone I know who's messing up and who fumbled opportunities, including Z himself, yes. But black men writ large? Oh no. Right? My core fundamentals or my core beliefs understand how rigged the game is and how sometimes it's not that you can't get out your own way, it's that everybody else is in the way. The system's in the way. Anti-blackness is in the way. Or you made it as far as you could go and then you fumbled. And now we catching you after 10, 15 years of good work and then one fumble. Reset. Right? We catching you on the other side of a divorce where you got to go back and live with your mom because your ex-wife then cleaned you out. Then I'm going to tell you pick yourself up by your bootstraps. You was doing good until this divorce. Wasn't there a brother that used to work for, was it Uber, that deleted himself years ago? The pressure of life is real. So no, I don't see me doing that. The pick yourself up by your bootstraps talk. Yeah, I don't see me doing that. We got brothers in this space. The brother know who I'm talking about. Was doing good financially, got laid off, right? And over the past few months, it's been a bit of a struggle. You know who I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say your name because I don't know if you want your story out there like that. But that's how life goes. What did I look like telling him pick himself up by his bootstraps? He was doing good until he wasn't. Right? So yeah, no, I don't see Z doing that. Not that. A lot, but not that. I don't see Z doing that one. No. Pick yourself up by your bootstraps to black men? Nah. Right? Nah, my worldview is not aligned with that because I understand life and life be kicking us all in the ass, especially as black men. Right? Sometimes you up, sometimes you down, and then when you're down, people gonna look at you and tell you pick yourself up by your bootstraps. You lacking, you lazy. Nah, bro. I was good until I wasn't good. Life happened. What did Will's dad tell him once again in Fresh Prince? You think I wanted this? No, he was talking to Uncle Phil. It just happened. It's the way he said it. Right? So yeah, no, not that one. Not that one, no. Thank you for that comment, Mr. 60. That was funny. And Mike Rizzi says, I seen Scott Ritter on some black guy's podcast apologizing for seeing race. Honest, but weird, maybe realignment. Maybe the realignment? Scott Ritter? He was apologizing for seeing race or for not seeing race? Am I missing that comment a little bit? Right? I seen Scott Ritter on some black guy's podcast apologizing for seeing race. Honest, but weird, maybe realignment. I'm a little lost on that comment. Vincent, the same people you see going up is the same people you see going down. You know? Yeah, that's why you're not supposed to necessarily burn bridges on your way up. You're not supposed to be an asshole on your way up. Because some of those people that you were dissing on your way up, when you falling, they're going to make sure to kick the ladder from under you as you falling, as you trying to grab onto something. Are you sure about that? All right, better you. But yeah, the brother better you doing good financially, and then got laid off, and then right. We got sisters in this space that's like that too. But hey, that's what it is. Mr. Z was look, I shared it with people. In 2016, Mr. Z was looking sick. Not 2016, sorry. After the election. That was the 2016 was when the whole campaign was happening. After election, 2017. Up until October, when I say Mr. Z, from from no, actually, because I had unemployment, so I got lucky. See, government looks out. Government sometimes looks out because that's their mandate. But when my unemployment ran out, oh, Mr. Z was looking sick, and I was living at home with Mama and Daddy Z. Look, I was looking absolutely sick. Oh man, it was looking bad. Oh, talking about Dusty. You want to talk about Dusty? Mr. Z was looking bad. But once I got an opportunity, I never looked back. Right? I never looked back. But if you screen captured, if you pause Mr. Z in a space and time in 2017, August of 2017, July of 2017, oh, looking bad. Huh? Now, what about if somebody told me to pick yourself up by your bootstraps? You might be getting a boot upside your head. Huh? Just saying. Right? Thank you, Vince. 7-8 years ago. Els Active says, I'm doing well and I'm considering going back to parents before I make the great leap out of the West. I think and I've said this before, and me and Black Guru had this conversation too. And actually, me and Sister Z had this conversation because of the line of work she's in. She was like, you'll be surprised how many people, how many families are living at home with their parents, including people, as you're saying, Els Active, who are doing pretty okay. We might have to rethink this entire, I'm going to say American dream, but like it got exported out of America. This kind of like idea of upward mobility and what the signifiers of that are. We might have to rethink what it means to own your own home, or like moving out of your parents' house just because you can. Right? And we might be forced to rethink that. I want to be very clear what Mr. Z is saying here. We might be forced to rethink that. Huh? So that's what I'm saying. I'm not just saying we might have to rethink. We might have to be forced to rethink that. Because many of us, maybe we get our parents home, maybe our parents paid off their house, so maybe we get that. What else? Maybe. For many of us, nope. Mom been renting, dad been renting, so we're not even gonna get that. We're not getting no life insurance. If we do, it ain't gonna be no real life insurance money. It's not life-changing life insurance money. You get 20 racks. That's okay. 25, maybe 50 if you're lucky. As a Black person, all right, you got 50. Cool. That's nice. That's not life-changing. That's good money. Okay, you can put that down on the house, and then now what? Uh-oh. Huh? So, you know, we might have to rethink this whole thing. Maybe that was a window in time, particularly in the West, but in America, where you out the door at 18 and you never move back in. Or you out the door at 18, you go to college, you come back, you stay maybe for 6 months, a year at 22, 23 years old, then you out the door again, never to come back. Maybe that was a window in time that is fast becoming something of the past. Y'all gives you a second again. Jesus Christ, these noises. Y'all gives you a second. And Saint Sir says, Z, out of the house at 18 isn't only American. A lot of places in Western countries do that. I know it's big in New Zealand and Australia. Well, y'all gives you a second once again. Jesus Christ. And we're back. But yeah, no, I understand. But like I said, we might have to reconsider these things in the West, especially in America, right? Guy Incognito said, life insurance money will be used for the funeral and any leftover bills of the deceased. Yep. Yep. Man. Right. So we might have to rethink these things. Maybe that was a window in time where you and your siblings all have your own homes, and everybody has, if you're married, everyone has their own home, and their kids and their wife in their own home, or their kids and their husband in their own home, and the wife has her own car and the husband has his own car, and when the kids get grown, they have their, when they get 16 or 17, they have their own car, and you know, maybe that's a window in time, and like that's closed or it's closing, right? And especially for like Xers, and you stay single out there until your goddamn mid 30s, late 30s, then you get married and have kids, and then you divorce your husband in your mid and late 40s, and right, then you raise your kid mainly by yourself, and then your kid still managed to go to college and get a degree, and your daughter does the same thing you did, huh? And your son marry a woman just like you who's going to do the same thing to him, huh? Marry him in his late mid 30s, divorce him and his I said late mid 30s, sorry. Marry him, yeah, in his early to mid 30s, divorce him in his mid to late 40s. Maybe that window's closed. Maybe that window's closed, right? And we got to think about these things differently. We might have to think about these things differently. That's all, right? As the uber wealthy white dudes buy up all the homes. Laughing at us, looking at us like we're ants.
They are ants, Michael. They are ants.
So, anyway, look, Mr. Z said I was supposed to end out like 15 minutes ago. Okay, for real, y'all. Look, we're gonna pause right here. We'll try to bring y'all a stream tomorrow. I'm gonna try to remember what I was trying to bring up with Scott Ritter. Why did I tie him into the conversation? I'm gonna try. And I'll bring that up tomorrow. Let's see what we cover tomorrow. There's a number of things I'm kind of following tangentially, right? And hopefully we'll have a panel discussion tomorrow. Hopefully, knock on wood, everything going the way it needs to go. Thank y'all for listening in. So we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Shout out to the replay gang. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the thank you button for the replay gang. Yeah, and y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Go touch some grass. It's Friday, y'all. So some of y'all, it's payday Friday. Go live life. Yeah. Shout out to all you ladies who gonna spend your whole weekend, you know, handling your business by yourself, you know. Yeah, you know, I hear you. I hear you. Right. So there's that. Yeah. So on that note, y'all, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Go check out other Black Manosphere content. Go check out other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. And yeah. And yeah, I'll just read a comment. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out. You have a great rest of y'all day.